also have Mohammed Ali Shah, actor, joining us live on the broadcast. Let me in fact also get in Mohammed Ali Shah at this point. Mohammed Ali Shah, you know, your memories of Lata Mangeshkar which will live on. How would you like to pay your tributes to Lata Mangeshkar today? And I'm sure that Lata Mangeshkar has sung quite a few songs as well for your uncle Nasiruddin Shah and his films. Any favorite of yours that you would like to remember today, Mohammed?
Absolutely, it's a very, very sad day, and in fact, you know, apart from her singing in films, I particularly as a soldier, and she has sung several songs for films, and my uncle was very fond of her, Nasir Saab was very, very fond of her. In fact, the whole nation, the whole world is very fond of her, no doubt about that, and she will always live a legend, because legends never die. They become, they become legends and live in the hearts and minds forever. In fact, her most famous song, "ऐ मेरे वतन के लोगों जरा आँख में भर लो पानी," that and "सौगन मुझे इस मिट्टी की है," that's the last song which she released last year, in fact, in COVID time. Both are dedicated to soldiers. So in fact, the epitome of patriotic singing as well. And she will always be remembered at the end, passing away at the age of 92. Let me tell you why she lived a long life, touch wood. Because firstly, she had the good vibrations, the good wishes of everyone. And of course, because music is the language of the soul. Even when Tansen used to sing, lamps used to start lighting when Tansen used to sing. Similarly, Lata Mangeshkar lived a long life, fulfilling life because of her music. Imagine starting your career as early as at the age of 13. Being the daughter of a great singer herself, in fact, and her sister Asha Bhosle again is a legend. So starting your career at the age of 13 as a singer and then going on, and as Manvi rightly said, she is an epitome of grace, elegance, voice, and that's the voice of India. And despite, and it's not that it was all a bed of roses for her all throughout. She had a fair share of struggles. She had a fair share of rejection as well, despite having the voice that the whole. It's not a loss to the nation only, it's a loss to the whole world, in fact. Despite having a voice like that, she was rejected many a times, yes, which happened in everyone's life, but then it's an inspiration for all of us that not to give up in life. I mean, I'm sure everyone over here would be inspired by the life journey of Lata Mangeshkar ji. And of course, as the Prime Minister has said, it's a great personal loss, not only for him, for the entire nation, in fact.
Absolutely. The Prime Minister also, in fact, is expected to reach to pay his personal tributes to Lata Mangeshkar as well. Let me go to Mohammed Ali Shah at this point, in fact, Major Mohommed Ali Shah. Major Mohommed Ali Shah, I was just, you know, discussing that aspect that, you know, two things are really ironical. One, of course, the fact that just yesterday, Ma Saraswati Puja was happening, and Lata Mangeshkar also used to do this puja every year. And you know, just a day after, of course, she's taken away from us. And the second, that this very year, when she passes away, just, you know, hardly 10-12 days back, for the very first time, "Ae Mere Watan" incorporated as part of beating retreat ceremony for the very first time. Major Shah.
You know, absolutely, Uday. In fact, you heard Bhageshwari saying the same thing. In fact, I told you sometime back that, you know, one of my favorites, in fact, has been "Ae Mere Watan Ke Logo," and in fact, that's one of her most popular one, I would say, and her last one, both have been a dedication to soldiers, in fact. And yes, we saw "Ae Mere Watan Ke Logo" inducted in the beating retreat. And yes, there has been a lot of you can cry about why abide with me, we had to part with. But if you also see the other side of it, we have "Ae Mere Watan Ke Logo," and it's an iconic song, and it is something which gives goosebumps to every citizen of our country, not just soldiers, but every citizen. And yes, Lata Mangeshkar is going to be remembered, and she will live on forever and ever. Let me tell you a small little anecdote which my uncle Nasir Saab had told me, because since you had mentioned, she had also sung various songs from Masoom, from Bazaar, from Karma for Nasir Saab, for his films, in fact, where he had acted. So in 1948, what happened was Lata Mangeshkar, he was being mentored by a gentleman by the name of Mr. Ghulam Haider. Now he took Lata Mangeshkar, who was a young girl at that time, to a gentleman called, to a producer called Shashadhar Mukherjee, and for a movie called Shaheed. It was 1948 at that time. Now at that time, Mukherjee had dismissed her voice, saying it's too thin. I would not want this voice, and she was rejected as Mami Taneja. We had said, we had heard her saying that she was rejected, so she was rejected there. And that time, Ghulam Haider had said that one day Mukherjee is going to fall at her feet, and he will ask her again, "Now please sing for me," and you know, and then Lata Mangeshkar will be on the upper hand. Then she will decide. And see, the prophecy actually came true because it was her talent. It was what a voice, what a magical voice, what a beautiful voice. Something used to happen to all of us. It used to give us all goosebumps. So that is the kind of inspirational figure Lata Mangeshkar was. So this anecdote of 1948, it is very true to everyone who has faced rejection, who has faced failures, who has faced who have been told to people that no, you are not fit enough for this task. But then proving it to be an iconic brand, one of the biggest brands in music, Lata Mangeshkar. I mean, that is the kind of metal she was made up of.
Absolutely. Mohammed Ali Shah, that's the point. You know, the kind of music that, you know, Lata Mangeshkar gave us, R.D. Burman gave us, those are songs that, you know, of course, will live on. You know, that was another era of music, wasn't it? Those songs are evergreen. Of course, the current songs also have their own flavor and, you know, are very interesting and contemporary and, you know, remix का भी दौर है. But वो गाने कुछ और ही थे. वो दौर ही कुछ और था. Mohammed.
Absolutely, there you hit the nail on its head. In fact, every music has its own beauty. Yes, मगर वो गाने कुछ और ही थे, उनको दौर कुछ और ही था. And Lata Mangeshkar is the epitome of singing, and it's like a brand. It's like, you know, if anyone says, oh, you sing just like Lata Mangeshkar, the ultimate compliment anyone can ever get. And actually, you know, music is the language of the soul. So anybody who does not really appreciate music, I really don't understand those kind of people. But here we have someone who has been singing 7 decades, over 70 years of career. I mean, as a singer, I mean, just imagine the kind of passion, dedication and the fire she would be possessing from within. I commend her parents for giving birth to such a wonderful lady. She's truly the right name, the Nightingale of India. Padma Shri, Padma Vibhushan, Bharat Ratna, you name the honor that she doesn't have. An iconic international figure. In fact, Hindustan की जब बात करते हैं तो कुछ चंद एक नाम सामने आते हैं. The foreigners, the foreign music, they say, oh, India, Lata Mangeshkar. Let me tell you a small again. In mid-90s, we had gone to Egypt, and then we crossed over by road. We crossed over the Aqaba port. We entered Egypt, and they're like, "Oh, you're from India, Lata Mangeshkar, Amitabh Bachchan," and you know there are a few names that they take straight away, and you're like, "Wow!" And that is the time in the late 90s when Aishwarya Rai, Sushmita Sen had won Miss Universe, Miss World, respectively that time. So at that time, it was like big hype, India. Oh, India, he's from India, Lata Mangeshkar, you know. So that is the kind of international representative we had subconsciously, where she did not really go out there and represent as such per se, but people would revere her. So that is the kind of epitome and that is the kind of songs and उनके गाने सदियों तक याद रखेंगे लोग गाएंगे. Even in fact right now many of us, you also, I'm sure, I can read your mind, I can read everyone's mind, everyone is actually उनके गाने गुनगुना रहे हैं दिमाग में.
Okay.